Okay, we are going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. How are you, Miss Debbie? I missed you. I can get a motion to approve today's agenda, please.
Make a motion to approve today's agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Mr. Rutledge, I believe that your pastor's here to lead us in the prayer
Yes,
today.
Darrell Burns, you want to come up and lead us in prayer? Yep,
Yeah.
come up there.
You don't have it.
For your prayer first. Prayer first.
Okay. You're going to pray with me. Heavenly Father, we just come to you tonight just thanking you for all your many blessings. And Father, we ask as we gather together and talk about the business of Jones County, that this will be your business, Father, because we are just managers and stewards of what you have. Father, everything belongs to you. So Father, I pray that everything we do, we would be mindful of the decisions that we make. Father, I pray that you would send the right people to fill all the positions that we need to see about the business of Jones County, Father. And we ask for your blessings on this meeting and always. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Let's pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rutledge. The first item on the agenda, or next item, is the election of a board secretary. We are in need of a new secretary, and I believe that Mr. Goodman, you are the only certified appraiser at this point.
Yes,
Are you willing to act as the board secretary?
Sure, I'm not doing anything.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'll find it. Do I have a motion to elect Mr. Goodman as the board secretary?
I motion to elect Mr. Goodman as the secretary.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, congratulations.
You did it. You made it.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the July 3rd minutes. I think those were being passed around. Were there any questions or corrections? Yeah. Okay. We have a motion to approve the July 3rd minutes as written.
I'll make a motion to approve July 3rd minutes.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If y'all will sign those, then we will pass them around. Mr. Goodman, you are up next, I believe, with the conservation.
On the conservation, we have 10 applications. I think they put them out at each one of y'all's, didn't they? You don't have conservation. Were they put out on each other?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there are 10 applications. There is one that we recommended for denial. The rest all met all the qualifications. The last one does not meet the acreage requirements, and not only the acreage, but it's only 33% wooded. So we didn't feel that it met the criteria, but all of the others we recommend approval for.
Is that the one that you looked at? You agree with that? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the ones that are detailed here and to deny the one that's recommended for denial?
I motion to approve the approved ones and to deny the one that's denied on the Cubas.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We We also have the list of motor vehicle appeals y'all provided earlier.
Right. And I don't see. Let's see my sheet.
There's 44 of them.
Okay, we're 44.
Mm-hmm.
There were 44 motor vehicle appeals, and we feel they're all, we did the right thing on them. We recommend they be approved.
Yes, those are the ones we have the list on, that everybody's looked at. I assume there's no conflicts. That's one of the ones we have the most frequently. Any issues, questions over the motor vehicle appeals? Is there a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the 44 motor vehicle appeals for 2025.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have error and relief next. I believe there's 10 of those, Mr. Goodman.
Yes, ma'am. In 2024, 2 of those were boats that had been sold. The last boat, the person had moved out of the county. On this one, for 2025, the first one was the business not in operation for several years. The second one, we had to correct a deed that was in wrong. The third one, same thing. The next 2 were boats that were sold. The next one was a mobile home that was in Rio. It had been changed to pre-bill. And then the last one, the boat was in another county. We've given all that to Brian. And,
Is there a motion to approve the error and reliefs that Mr. Goodman has presented?
I motion to approve the errors and relief.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Homesteads.
Homesteads, there are 2. We recommend approval on 2. And we recommend approval on all of them except for 2. One of them, the guy was in another county, and the other one, their driver's license didn't reflect. But all the others we recommend approval on.
Questions or discussions on those?
No.
Is there a motion on the homesteads?
That's a rule that the driver's license got to match, that's what it is?
Yeah.
I
Has to
motion to approve
reflect
the
who you
homestead
are.
exemption approvals.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is that all you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before we get to public comments, Mr. Davis, while we're discussing this, do you have some information to add or give us some updates, please?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair and other members of the board, this overworked and understaffed staff is continued to work hard 7 days a week, and with the help of Ms. Riley and other assistance. The number of appeals filed started with was 624, which in and of itself would be below the 5%. So I think we're down to about 467 at this point that are unresolved. So either way, we're well below the 5%. So given that, all of those accounts that are under appeal would be marked as such in the system. And other than those that are marked, no other changes will be permitted because, having run those totals, around $1,355,000,000, which should be the total of all the property, and that's just really personal now. So given that, I recommend that the board approve tonight and go ahead and release those figures to the tax commissioner, who can then add with all the other values that he keeps up with, public utilities and motor vehicles and things like that, to assemble and become the entire digest to be submitted to the revenue department when he sees fit, when he gets all of his paperwork done. So just need the board to approve going ahead and let this officially be the numbers for 2025, subject to the ones that are under appeal. And of course, those numbers from those could change based on how the appeal comes out. But given the way the law provides for appeals to be there, when we turn the numbers over, I think we're ready to go ahead and let the board officially decide to go ahead and turn those numbers over to the tax commissioner.
Is there a motion to officially approve those?
I make a motion to officially and formally approve the digest to be submitted.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? So there were just under 3%, correct, of
I
appeals?
think about 2.64%.
Okay.
Which is well under the 5, and of course, those would be below as we work them, and the staff continues to work them, and will continue to do so. That includes Board of Equalization hearings, and some would be settled, and the taxpayer in some cases could ask for arbitration or a hearing officer, but I don't have those numbers because we're still working through them. Most of the appeals will end up going, if they're not resolved and settled, they go to the Board of Equalization, but those hearings hadn't started yet.
Okay. And before you sit down, I know you mentioned the very overworked staff that have been working nonstop. As everyone knows, their workload substantially increased. We are intent on retaining our key personnel, and believe we all agree that they are vital to continued operations. And so we do need to adopt a retention pay scale. Is there a motion to adopt a retention pay scale?
I motion to adopt the retention pay scale for sure.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Very much.
Mr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Ben.
Believe next on the agenda are public comments. If there are any persons that wish to speak or have any.
Good. Jumped to be here. Is this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're more than welcome, George.
Appreciate it.
Let me give this to Willie.
My name's Trip Glosson. I live over in River North. And I know this probably wasn't any of Jones County's fault, because I know how bad the post office is. And if I'd have thought about it or anything, I probably would have done what he suggested I do next year, is come up here and get it before. But I've got 3 properties in Jones County. I haven't gotten 2 of these yet. This is the one I did get, and I got it on Saturday before the 14th.
May I see that?
This is my tax. You can see the postmark on it. I'd show you the other 2 if I had them, but I don't. So in order to get the value of my house, which went up $179,000 in one year, I had to get it from the office over there the other day. Because I couldn't even pull it up on Q Public's website. It said something funny on it. I showed y'all what it was, but anyway, so I didn't, of course, get to do the appeal in time because it's on the 14th. Now, I could have printed it out, and I did that day on Saturday. I went through and did that, but there's no place to even upload it on a website in Jones County.
No.
So, I mean, that wouldn't be very hard to do. Might even make it easier for Jones County. especially with the way the postal service is right now, you know? I mean, because I'm still got two in limbo, wherever those are. And if they ever come to me, I'll be glad to bring them up here and show them to you. But I do have a problem with the value going up $179,000, and I want to appeal my taxes on that.
Wait, can you please give me the address of that?
It's 200 River North Boulevard.
Okay, and that house is up for sale right now, correct?
It is.
And so you're appealing, what is the old value and new value?
Well,
Sure,
it was
it's in here.
404, I think. I got it right here. Now it's 583.
And what's the house listed for?
That's beside the point, but I think it's listed at 630, but I've had three people look at it, and I threw the high number up there. I'll never get it.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean anything.
Did
Now,
you
if it sells, then I could see next year the taxes being whatever, it's sold for.
Correct.
But that's not the case. I mean, I can give you an example. I gave Mr. Goodman an example. I had a property on Lake Sinclair. I had it at 690. Well, I sold it for 600,000 just the other day. So that'll tell you anything. Property values or house values aren't really going up right now, and it's not projected to go up for another year. So I don't see that happening. And you can't use it for sale price as a comp or a
Well, it's
or
not a
value.
comp. I had been informed a little bit, I guess,
Right.
literally a minute before the meeting, which is one reason I was walking in, and
No, I
did not
understand.
understand if there had been an appeal, and I got the Cliff Notes version.
I didn't get a
of
chance
the-
to do the appeal because I really didn't know. I didn't know the value had went up that much.
Well,
So,
as you're, I assume, aware, this board and the office has worked very hard to bring Jones County into compliance with state requirements.
he went over all that with me.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I can appreciate him being the only tax assessor. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but that is really pretty sad. But, I don't disagree with what he was telling me about $130 a square foot. That doesn't include my land value, which is valued at about 60-something thousand. But if you took my main square footage on the top two floors, the main floors, that's 356,980 at $130 a square foot. And there's not a basement in this world that's valued at 100% of the rest of the house. So the basement, and you can look this up and do whatever you want to on that, but 60% is usually the max. So if you take 130 times 60%, that gives you $78 a square foot. My basement's 1,200 square foot, so that'd be $93,600, which puts the total at $455,880 plus the lot, which would be $517,405. And I feel like that's more than fair.
But you won't sell it to me tonight for $517, correct?
I don't know, you making an offer?
I might,
Well,
Might.
put it in writing.
might do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice house.
Mr. Davis, do you have any, as the acting chief
The
appraiser?
question I have is the one he did get, the assessment notice you did get, did you file an appeal on that?
I couldn't. I got it on Saturday before the 15th.
Oh, you could have written a letter postmarked, that'd make it legal.
Or come in
I
on
would've
Monday.
uploaded it into the computer if I could have done that, but this was Saturday. I mean, I got it, you can see the date on here. This is the 12th. Monday was the 14th. I got it on Saturday.
Which is, you got it Saturday after the appeal deadline?
No,
I got it Saturday on the 12th.
Monday was the deadline, the
Monday
14th.
was the deadline. I couldn't come
You could have written a
Monday.
letter.
I could have written a letter on Saturday.
Well, it'd been postmarked, I'm just saying, the only way you can file in person, you could have come down, is you could postmark it Monday, it'd have been legal.
I mean, if I didn't get the one from the house. This is another one that I would appeal to. And this one is a property, a lot that I have in River North that I bought last year on the 24th. I paid $26,000 for, and that was an arm's length transaction. Matter of fact, I sold two lots in River North last year, both for $30,000 each. And now my taxes went from $30,000 last year, $30,800 to $40,040 in 1 year. And we're talking arm's length transactions here. So, and I sold 2 lots last year for $30,000. So I don't understand why that went up $10,000 either.
My only question was that you got, these 3 notices were sent out, right? I'm assuming that's what we're talking
I
about.
only got one, but I got it on Saturday.
But after the fact, you figured out there were 2 others that were sent you hadn't got yet, right? What you're saying?
I got this on Saturday at 4 or
But
5
that's the
o'clock in the
one you did-
afternoon
I
when
know
I get my
you
mail.
did-
How
you
can
did
I
get
go
one.
get a postmark on something? I would have had to haul boogie over there to the post office at 4 or 5 o'clock on Saturday to even get a
Now,
postmark.
you could have done it on Monday, it'd been legal.
Monday was we passed the deadline.
If it had been in there.
I came up here on Monday.
Falls on the weekend,
I
though.
mean, you came Tuesday or Wednesday. You didn't come Monday.
I came the day after the deadline.
Right.
Yeah.
You came Tuesday.
Yeah, okay.
If
So
you
it was-
came Monday, you could have filed an appeal and I could have looked up each one
Yeah.
of them.
If I didn't know about the other ones.
I got a question. On that square footage you mentioned, was there any account taken for any decking or anything like that? Because like mine went up too, about the same amount.
Yeah.
And we were confused about it as well, and we had to consider the outbuildings and decks and stuff like
I
that.
mean, I do have a deck on there. I know it's not worth $80,000. It's a
Right.
small deck on
I'm
the
just saying, it's
back.
not strictly your house square footage. So like if you're going strictly by that, you will feel like, hey,
This is heated and cooled square footage. That's what you use.
right.
I mean, I'm a builder. I'm aware of, how all this
Right.
works.
I
And
just wanted
and
to
I
know.
sell property and,
Mr. Bill and Mr. Jim, just asking, because I don't know. I'm just up here trying to be the common sense guy. If we were to vote to say that we could accept his appeal on these 3, can we accept it? Is it legal for us to accept it? Can we?
Not according to what state law says.
I mean, I'm just, because I know what he's talking about. I mail spirit night checks to all these schools, and they won't get it for a month. So I do know that we have a terrible mailing system, and I'm just trying to be the voice of reason up here.
I didn't get to
And,
see some of
you know what I mean? Is there a way to accommodate this? Because he is here, he did take the time out of his schedule.
It could have came in Monday.
The only thing about that, Justin,
Right.
is,
You open up a can of worms.
yes. we may
But
have
he's the
10
only
more
can of
people.
worms that did show up tonight, though.
It wouldn't stop there though.
Wait a minute, we got 4 more cans of worms. But I promise you, I'm gonna suggest common sense stuff for y'all too, I
I mean,
promise.
if there was a way I could have done it online, I could have just uploaded
Right.
the appeal online. That would have been
You
easy.
could have downloaded an appeal online.
I did download it online and I filled it out and everything, and then I came up here, but it was
Tuesday.
right.
Mr. Glosson, if you would, have a seat and let's hear from these other persons. Don't leave,
I'm
though.
really not even, there's one other thing too. I own
Okay.
a commercial track over off the highway connector over there,
Yes, sir.
and that one also went up. And then I started doing a little digging around the area, and I'm wondering how Jones County comes up with a value, whether it's per acre or whatever, on that property over there, because it's hodgepodge. There's about 7 or 8 tracks right within walking distance of each other, and they range in price and they're empty lots. They're just wooded lots. And I can tell you right now, there's one that's 3.16 acres that has a value of $59,810 an acre. I feel bad for them. I would have protested that for sure. I know Bob Peacock has one across the street. It's 4.26. It's valued at $46,000 an acre.
If anybody feels your pain on the commercial side, it's me, because believe it or not, our 3 acres down on the corner at Ranchers is worth more than the entire Ingalls and Circle K put together
Yeah.
somehow. So I do understand.
There's one directly across the
The
street.
good news
It's even
is-
bigger than mine. It's 7.6 acres. It's only valued at $36,000.
But the good news is we have one of the highest rated, best recommended companies rather, that's going to go and do a reevaluation across the entire county, because there's nobody that agrees with you more
Yeah.
that we got some screwed up values in this county.
I mean, they're just.
I promise you, I'm
they're
with
like
you.
within
And
sight
I'm
of
excited
each
to
other.
see this outside company that don't know anybody here. They know
Yeah.
nobody in this town.
Yeah.
They don't know who's who, what. We don't have to worry about that. I'm excited to see what they come up with. And I mean, that was a lot of money to spend, but it was that far off out of whack that I believe that was a good idea for us to do that. So I promise you,
I mean, when
I
bought
believe you,
this,
and I'm with you.
I bought it, it was a
Yes, sir.
fair, exchange and everything, and it was valued at what he paid for it when I bought it. And then when I bought it, it went up to what I paid for it, which I understand that. But now, I haven't done anything with it, it's still sitting there.
And if it makes you feel any better.
$30,000 more.
And if it makes you feel any better, I'm on the board, and I showed up yesterday to tell them I didn't own 3 boats that I
Yeah.
hadn't owned in like 12 years, and I was too late.
Yeah.
I gotta wait till next year.
No, I get that.
So, if that makes you feel any better.
I've done that 3 or 4 times
Okay.
already, so.
Okay.
But that's where I'm at on
Yes,
all
sir.
that. You know, it's kind of.
Hopefully that reevaluation fixes
It's
a lot of our,
I think we knew that the peaks and valleys, as we would call it,
Yeah.
would be one way or the other. We did meet, Ms. Riley and I met with technical appraisal last week. They had completed a little over 25% of the evaluations, and I asked specifically for their confidence in the numbers that we had, and they are pretty confident in those numbers, although, of course, they are still working on them. So,
I just
if
want to
you
be fair,
would,
you know?
right.
That's it. I mean,
Well,
just
and
fair.
and in the attempt to be fair, if we can hear from the others that
Yeah,
are here
sure.
too. And
appreciate it.
yes, sir.
thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm also from River North. I'm Shelly Otero.
Yes, ma'am.
And,
Can you, I'm sorry, can you spell your name for me?
Shelly, Shelley. Last name is O, T as in Tom, ERO, hyphen Schroeder.
Okay, and I did not mention this to Mr. Glosson, and we're trying to be fair, but for those that did not ask to specifically be on the agenda, we're actually limited to 5 minutes. The board has the ability to allow discussion longer than that, and I'm not keeping time, but just for the record,
Yes,
if we
Mr.
need to do
Goodman told me
that.
to come today, but
Okay.
true, I
Yeah,
came in, I
that's-
didn't know if I had to put myself in a list.
No, it's
I
fine.
didn't. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm in a similar situation as the previous person is, just that I received the letter pretty late, and that weekend I was beside myself with how much my property improved or escalated in the assessment. But when I went to the website, I got a page not found. I go to your website, and then, so I knew that the day was the day that it was, so I sent it through an email to Mr. Goodman. And then he told me, I have the email, the letters here. I didn't know what I was coming for tonight, so I'm also prepared, basically prepared to see my case, but I see that I don't even have the floor right now at this moment with the.
You got the floor with me. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
I mean,
You have the
you're
floor.
speaking, you
Yes.
have the
Okay.
floor.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of my specific case. In my specific case, my house has been, last year, I saw a big increase. I was very,
Miss, if I'm, before you get into that, I believe the issue is not us addressing the value. The issue is us allowing you to appeal after the
that was what I was
fact.
saying
That
about the
is
floor.
issue.
Okay. That's what I was saying
So
about the floor. I don't
we-
know if to
right,
go to
We're
that.
not appraisers, and so we cannot give you or Mr. Glosson or anyone else any remedy for the values, okay? I think the issue with you, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, is that a little after 9 o'clock, the night of the deadline,
I'm so sorry. Am I allowed to be here? I'm sorry about that.
the email, the appeal was submitted via email.
Yes.
And that's one. And then the second thing is it came after business hours on the night, the day of the deadline.
Yes.
Okay. And this board has never adopted a policy to accept email appeals, which I understand has to be done. You were the only email appeal in the entire county, I believe.
I emailed it
Is
and
that-
faxed it too.
Okay. I don't believe a fax was received, was it? Just an email? Or was a fax? Okay,
I have the confirmation of the
Okay,
fax.
okay.
So-
okay. Mr. Davis, if you can come forward, please, sir, and give the board your understanding or opinion about accepting the, and Ms. Schroeder, you don't have to leave yet, I'm sorry, I just want, okay.
Come on up, you come on. But as I understand the issue that the taxpayer tried to file an appeal by pulling something from the website and attaching the appeal form to an email at 9-something at night on the last day for appeals. Is that okay? So the law is pretty clear that you have to file an appeal in person or in writing within that 45-day appeal period, and you can accept it by mail if it's postmarked that last day, on the 45th day. Unless, and the law says further that unless the Board of Assessors has adopted a policy of accepting email appeals, an email appeal is not valid. So therefore, from what I'm hearing, no appeal was filed timely in this case. Is that adequately addressed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And if I may add, your website up front has the fax number. That's why I also use the fax.
Okay.
And I was trying to get that information, as I mentioned, and I was getting the page not found, trying to see what else to do, but.
You got the letter at the same time Mr. Glosson got it,
I
about
got
Saturday, Sunday kind of
I got it
thing?
sometime Thursday or Friday that week, but I didn't bring the letter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
If,
Situation our hands are tied.
is there someone else?
Oh, boy. Real-time issues. My shop was broken into a year and a half ago in
Sir,
Macon.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. Can you give us your name?
Oh, sorry, Mike Bodnerchuk. Yeah, I guess you didn't know you're talking to. My name's Mike Bodnerchuk. I live at 379 Howard Roberts Road here in Gray. I have a shop in Macon. It was broken into about a year and a half ago. As far as we know, it was organized crime. They didn't take computers and stuff. They took cars and toy haulers and tried to take an RV. Issue starts with my RV. It's a vehicle I take to the shows that I do in Texas. It had all my tax information for 5 years on it when they broke in. So they took all that. For the last year and a half, there's been people trying to be me. And when I say trying to be me, going to the banks in Texas, saying that they're me, going to the border because I had passports on the car, or in my RV. Anyway, come forward. Went in the other day because I was wondering why, I wanted to put my land back in conservancy, and I'm like, why have I not gotten information? I went in December to pay my property taxes, and then I went across the hall and said, yeah, I'm here to do I want to put it back in the conservancy. It's got to be coming up. Yep, in the new year. And I said, oh, okay. When? Anytime early in the new year. So my birthday's in March. Thought I'd go in and when I do all my tags, I go across the hall. So I did the tags, went across the hall. The lady told me, well, we're sent out some mail to you, you'll get it in May to do all this. And I hadn't seen anything, came in the other day to get a tag for another vehicle I bought, and thought, I better go across the hall and see what's going on. I was informed that, oh no, you missed conservancy by 9 days. Point is, I have Bibb County, and I printed off some stuff for you guys, from Bibb County Sheriff's Office, 4 reports, 2 from Jones County, one just from 3 weeks ago. Somebody's been targeting my mailbox. I haven't seen anything from the government, from the local government, and from the IRS, because I'm in a situation now at the IRS where I have to get a letter from the IRS every 6 months with a personal PIN number, and if I don't have that number, they won't even talk to me. And I hadn't seen it, so I called them, and they said, no, we mailed you one out in May. So, the most recent incident was on the second day of July. I came down the end of my driveway. There were 2 guys at the end of my driveway fishing with fishing poles with no string on them and no license on the vehicle. And right away I was like, and tattoos and just, Anyway, it's been a disaster. So right away, of course, I went over what the F, who are you guys? Went and got a police officer. He did this report, and he told me, he said, yeah, those are bad guys. They weren't, I've been a cop here for 15 years. Nobody fishes here. You know what I mean? And I know because it's in front of my house. And anyway, so it's been a disaster. So I real-time problems, I'm saying to you, that I didn't even know that, I own different properties in Gray. I didn't even know there was assessments done So that I could be in all here also saying, oh geez, I want to reassess my property on Gray Highway or my house, and there's no way it's worth this much. So I don't even know, not even to begin, my purpose to be here today was to hope that you guys will allow me to put my land in conservancy. I'm not moving anywhere, I'm not going anywhere, there's no reason why I wouldn't have done all that. But I never got any information, didn't even realize it. And when I finally came in, because I thought, this is weird, oh yeah, and I'd missed it by a few days. Well, I think 7, 8 days on that when I came in.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to see if I can get some grace and get that part taken care of, and then just find out, come in and get all my mail on different pieces of land I own and find out what's been done. Because it might be all just fine. I say, oh, that's reasonable, I'm gonna pay the taxes. And I might be like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so I don't know, because I haven't seen any of it. And it's, you don't want to be in my shoes right now, because every time I leave my driveway, I wonder if there's going to be a crew of guys show up and steal everything on my property. And that's what one of the officers told me. They said, so I've put in a pretty extensive security system now. The only thing I have to do now is, and I just haven't had a chance to do it yet, we got to aug down, because I need to get cameras on the driveway at the front and get a gate or something going, like an electric gate, because it's what happened in Macon wasn't a couple of kids stealing car batteries. It was serious organized crime, and they've got everything they need to be me, and they're trying. And so my accounts are being changed at Cadence Bank. Every 6 months we just change them all, and we're talking 4 or 5 accounts that I have to keep kind of cycling through, and so they're all in deposit only except for my business account. So anyway, that's why I'm here. I'm here to see if I can somehow, or we can do where I want to put my land in conservancy where we live, our house. It's 58 acres.
Was this an original application or a renewal?
Renewal. Yeah, it was in 10 years, and so that's why in December I came in and said, it's got to be coming up, we're ready to go here. And then that's when I came back in March. I said, because when I went in March, I said, yeah, I'm here to do it. They said, well, we're sending you something out. And I asked, I said, well, I'm here, I'll do it now. Like, and they said, well, they're going to send you the information. And I said, well, just hand me the form, let's do it.
Does that make sense to you?
No, I don't understand why he couldn't have done it then, at that point.
That's what I don't understand either. I was standing right there and said, I'm here, like, let's do this, let's get to it. Why would I not? I'm not going anywhere.
Was that the
We were
time?
back in March.
You were back.
We were ready
I was gonna say, if it was
back in March.
at the point that they were at the Knox Center, I could see why somebody would put you off, but if they were back at the government center,
Yeah, I came in and went and got all my tags, because I have, many vehicles that I had to get tags for, and then I walked right across the hall.
Okay. We have.
But wait, I'm sorry, the suggestion is that I'm making this up.
No.
No,
I got a
that's
stack
not.
of
We're
paper
just
here,
wanting
there's
all
no
the
way I would
facts.
do that. I would rather just pay the taxes and,
When I asked her, does this make sense, I'm referring to the date standpoint of someone telling you that something would be mailed. It would have already have been mailed, and I believe it would have opened up for you to have renewed it, is it January 1 or?
Renewed it in December.
Okay, so when I'm saying it doesn't make sense, does that make
Okay.
sense? It's referring to the dates. I can see if you came in December and said, I want to get my assessed value, or I want to do this, and that was not done until May, like your assessment notices that they are referring to, those were not done until May. So that would make sense if you came in March and someone said, we're mailing something to you.
well, that might be,
But-
and that might be, sorry to cut you off,
No.
but the reason I say that is because I want to make sure there wasn't any confusion there was a piece of land, we spoke about this the other day, that I bought on Gray Highway, and you were going to call me back about that the other day, that I bought, and they were waiting to reassess that, because I had asked when I went in, I want to make sure I pay taxes based on what I paid for the land, not what it's going to be, because it was listed at $250, and I bought it for $125. I don't want to pay taxes on $250. I only paid $125. It's worth what somebody pays for it, and that's when you were going to call me back to tell me if that was going to be the case this year, for this year's taxes, because I paid the full boat last year. This year's tax, I just want to make sure that I paid on purchase price. And one of the girls in the office there told me, to check with you.
Okay.
Madam Chair, could I just say,
Yes, sir.
based on what I'm hearing,
If you could, Mr. Davis, do you mind stepping up to the microphone, just,
as I understand it, the parcel in question was under a 10-year covenant, conservation use. It ended in '24. And he got a renewal letter in October. The renewal letter was sent out to the proper address saying that, you know, this covenant will end at the end of '24, and you have to come in and apply for a renewal to get 10 more years. So we sent the letter out, but apparently the taxpayer did not come in and apply for a renewal by the deadline. So that's where we are, I guess, if I understand the facts right. So I guess
What
you're
date is the
asking them to
deadline?
consider you to apply now, even though you didn't apply by the deadline set in law, is what you're saying?
Sure, but setting law based on, you know, just if somebody gets the information.
Did
Just
you
explain
receive
that-
this letter?
I can tell you right now, I haven't received anything. And that's why in my mailbox, I'm sure what's happening is somebody's coming in and taking whatever, whenever, and I know this also because my wife has had some Amazon packages stolen, and we've had to, you know, contact Amazon and say, we didn't get that, which they're saying, of course he did, which now it makes sense that somebody's been going through our stuff, or going, like, targeting our space, and it's because they know what may or may not be available to them if they come to our place. Because one of the letters I got from the IRS with the PIN number, there's also right now a missing check from the IRS that I haven't got. Because when I talk to them, you gotta go, you know, to call them, it's a big deal. It takes forever to get them, and then when you get them, they're asking you, and they'll tell you, well, you've got a credit of X amount of dollars. And I'll say, why do I have credit? They say, well, we mailed you a check. I haven't seen any check. And so that's, you know, there's a lot going on, and I get it. That's why I wanted to bring as much paperwork as I could bring to
Sure.
show this.
Well-
Nobody needs this to come in and just make this stuff up. It's ridiculous.
I'm well aware of the Macon crime issues, so I do understand that. And to go back to the question that I asked Ms. Riley, what did not make sense was that this would have opened in this letter dated October, which I'm not in any way saying you actually received it, but the letter says the covenant ends December 31st. Applications are taken January 1 through April 1. So when you said you came in to the government center in March and came to the office in March, that was during this window when applications would have been accepted. So that's why this, again, was not making sense from a timeline standpoint. I understand your issue, and if you don't mind, if you will stay and have a seat and let us hear from the other persons that have not identical but similar issues, then I think it would be best for the board to address them all as a whole after hearing from everyone. While we'll address them individually, but I think we need the benefit of hearing from everyone before we do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
She had her hand raised. No, it's okay. It's fine.
Sorry. How you doing? My name's Thomas Thompson, 531 Windsong Drive, and my story's not as exciting. I did get the mail, but when we finally did see it, it was in the middle of all these medical bills. So I called that very next morning and asked, and it was almost a week and a half past the deadline. So I did call and ask if there's any way to file a late appeal, and they said that basically they couldn't do it, that I would have to come talk to you all about that appeal. So it was no mail service issues, it was a mail issue with us. And like I said, the value of the house going up 25% for this coming year, that's a direct reflection on my mortgage payment. So every year when the taxes go up, last year 13%, my mortgage payment went up 13%.
Well, so just to be clear, the Board of Commissioners, and I'll defer to you, Miss Debbie, I'm sure you're on top of it. The Board of Commissioners did vote to roll back the rate Tuesday night. So the assessment notice that you received, even though it has a projected amount, that will not be the amount. The millage rate was rolled back by the Board of Commissioners. So the taxes will not be going up proportionate to your assessment notice.
Okay, do you know what that percentage would be?
I would have to look, yeah, I don't recall I'm certain it rolled back.
It was over a mil, but I don't know what that would be on every.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I
right.
don't have, I mean, it's not a $600,000
No, I just
property,
wanted
it's
to make-
$140,000.
I just wanted to make clear that the fact that your property value went up, that does not mean your taxes will go up, and certainly not go up proportionate to that amount, because the millage rate is being rolled back. I don't know that the two, I want to say it was almost two. Yeah, but I can't tell you what that amounts to, but I just want to assure you it's not going up proportionate percentage-wise to the,
Jason sent me an email that would probably have the
okay.
line. I'm not
So I understand, though, your issue is the same issue I have at my house sometimes. Stuff gets stuck in the mail, in a pile of mail, and you just didn't see it until after the
We were
deadline,
going
correct?
through medical
Okay.
bills, I mean,
Right, okay. If
but
you
can
don't,
I, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, you kind of fall again into this window with others that I'd like for us to listen to everyone before
Okay.
we,
At the end, if it is decided, unusual circumstances, I mean, for us, it would be considered a natural disaster, with the medical stuff that we've been going through during this period. But, would you still accept if you decide across the board?
I don't know. That's what we're gonna listen to, and I'll get a recommendation from Mr. Davis, and we'll, just figure out what we're gonna do. We
All right.
will give you an answer tonight.
All right, thank you for your
Okay.
time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And then this is the decrease
We'd love to accept it.
in the unincorporated.
Did you wanna speak, ma'am? Okay. Is there anyone else to have a comment?
Miss Debbie was fixing to tell you something.
The decrease for the unincorporated was 1.73 mils. And for the incorporated, which is the city of Gray, it's 1.842 mils, 1.842.
Which is fairly significant.
Over a mil.
Right.
Vote on the board of education, are they going,
They haven't yet.
I know, when will they do that?
They meet next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
I'm not sure they're gonna vote on that next Tuesday, but that's their next meeting.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, do you have something to add?
Yes, I wanted to add that when the letter that you send does have a date, a due date. I met the due date. It doesn't have it's a 5 o'clock. It doesn't have those details. You could save this in the other years if the same things that you hope for people to get to in the website would be in that letter. Because when I thought it was the whole day, I would have not gone, and I went through a lot of trouble trying to prepare for today and also that day to try to make it on that, and make the deadline.
Yes, ma'am.
If there's any urgency also I have a case here from River North where a person sold or bought the house for $265,000. That's what it shows here, and it's valuated at $178,000.
Yes, let me
And cases
emphas-
like that, I think it was really urgent. I didn't see this kind of cases a year before, but that's why for me it was really important to be here and try to make it.
Well, let me again stress to you, but to everyone, that we are not appraisers. We will not be reassessing the values or addressing the values. The only thing that we are authorized to do, and I'm not sure we're authorized to do it, and I'll hear from Mr. Davis, but the only thing we can do is address the issue of whether or not your late appeal that was sent by email would be accepted or not. Okay?
I
and
understand that. I'm
that's
just trying to
right.
raise what he mentioned, also that there's so many abnormalities in the numbers that we see. If that makes any change or makes any weight on accepting the people that are here late also.
Yes,
the, when I figured it out, there was no post office nearby, even in going all the way to Atlanta to get that letter postmarked.
Okay. Mr. Davis, I know there are different issues with each individual person, whether it was mail that was received in a not so timely manner that's solely, a issue with the post office, if it's an issue with mail being stolen, or perhaps not given correct direction at the office, and the issue of the email appeal. This
Well,
board
specifically
has,
on the email, I mean, I think we've already said now that this board had not adopted a policy of accepting appeals by email. And the law says clearly, if you have not, it has to be filed in person or postmarked by mail no later than that last date so it had to be done in person or filed by mail, postmarked that last date. Now, on the other issues, as far as late applications, if it didn't file by the 45th day, as far as an appeal, it's not a legal appeal. I'm not arguing that the circumstances may warrant it or they disagree with the value, but the law is pretty clear. And the reason it has to be that way, because if we don't have a date, the 45th day, to say, here's what we've got for appeals, it could be next year before we finalize the digest. I mean, it has to be an end date. And whatever that date is, we have to cut it off according to the law. So whether it's done by email, that wasn't a timely appeal. An application for conservation use that was not applied to renewal is as if it didn't ever apply for a renewal. And the other issue, the gentleman said he got the notice, but he just didn't, because of everything going on, he didn't get to file his appeal timely. So all of those have that same commonality that they have that date set in law when you have to apply for something or file an appeal on a value change. The law is pretty clear that you have to do it on time, and unless you get back to the email thing, there's no provision in the law for accepting electronic appeals, such as an email, unless this board had adopted such a policy, which I understand you have not. Okay.
all right.
So you've, just to be clear, you've forgotten more about this kind of stuff than any of us will ever know, okay? And I appreciate you being an expert in your field. But even if I were to make a motion or anything like that to try to accept these tonight, that's illegal, and I can't do it, and we can't do that, right? That's illegal.
Well, I'm not an attorney.
No, I mean, but from what you know, that's illegal. Because I want everybody to know that I would do that. Because everybody took the time out of the schedule to do this. But if you are saying that's a no, then that's a no. But is that a no?
I can tell you that it's illegal. I can tell you what I know the law says.
Right.
And I think a county attorney would have to rule whether it's illegal or not.
Is there anything else, like his is different being conservation? Is there any kind of, I don't know if it's appeal, the right word or whatever, past that deadline of conservation? Is there anything else
Well,
different
filing
past
for an
that?
appeal or applying for conservation use is very similar in that there's a set date in law. You have to apply, or either one, apply, appeal or file for any kind of covenant, such as conservation use by a certain date. And there's no such a thing as an extension.
But there's always extenuating circumstances. We have courts in the United States that state all the time, we would normally do this to you, but under the circumstances, because things do change and circumstances happen, that's what makes us human.
Yeah, there's several federal.
I'm going to put an end to this. This is not in order at all. If y'all wish to be heard again, I think we've been more than fair of allowing somebody to come back, but this is not the proper way. I would like to take a quick recess, or we can go ahead and go to executive session and take this under advisement for a few minutes. Is there a motion to have a quick recess? Second?
Second.
All right, we're going to be in a 10-minute recess, okay? I want to go to the office to look up something. I want to go to the office, to look this up real quick. Andrew,